Welcome back. If you just joined us, watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories tonight. The federal government drags a former Petroleum Minister Dan Etete and ex-Justice Minister Mohammed Adoke to court over complicity in illegal oil deals. Vice President Osinbajo advocates proper care and respect for migrants across the world, blames internal conflicts and terrorism for forced migration. Lassa fever rears its head again. Ogun State health authorities confirm fresh case in Abeokuta. An Islamic State claims responsibility for lorry attack on Berlin Christmas market that claimed 12 lives. Remember that all our top stories can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on a mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. However, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You can also have the eyewitness feature to be part of the news. Just install the app, tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. In Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, where the federal government is intensifying its anti-corruption campaign, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission today filed a 9-count charge against some former top government officials. This include the former Minister of Justice, Mr. Mohammed Adoke, a former Minister of Petroleum, Dan Etete, and 7 others. The accused are facing allegations of mismanagement of multi-million-dollar revenue from the sale of an oil block to Malibu Oil and Gas Limited.
2 months after the House of Representatives investigated alleged shady deals in the award of oil blocks involving Malibu Oil and Gas Limited, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has filed charges against 2 former ministers and 7 others at the Federal High Court in Abuja. According to court papers, Mr. Dan Etete is alleged to have at different times transferred an aggregate sum of $801,504,000 into the account of Malibu Oil and Gas Limited in a commercial bank in Nigeria. A second accused person, Aliu Abubakar, and his company, Rocktop Limited, is alleged to have transferred an aggregate sum of $478,603,705 to Imperial Union Limited, Novel Properties and Development Limited, Group Constructions Limited, and Megatech Engineering Limited as payment for services rendered when he ought to have known that the money was proceeds of an unlawful act between Mr. Dan Etete and Malibu Oil and Gas Limited. The former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Bello Adoke, in one of the 9-count charges, is alleged to have aided Mr. Dan Etete and Malibu Oil and Gas Limited to commit the offense of money laundering by facilitating the aggregate sum of $801,504,000 transferred to Mr. Etete and Malibu Oil and Gas Limited from the federal government escrow account. The charge, which was filed on the 20th of December, is yet to be assigned to a judge. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
These pictures from earlier today. Members of various aviation unions protesting at the Arik Air office in Lagos. It was a shutdown of airline operations. They're drawn from the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Senior Staff Services Association of Nigeria, and the National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers. The unions had yesterday threatened to picket the airline nationwide, with effect from today, vowing to continue the action until all their concerns are addressed. They're demanding the payment of their 7-month salary arrears, unionization of Arik Air employees, and the recall of colleagues who were sacked.
This exercise is long overdue because we have a company that is licensed for a specific responsibility, but he has failed woefully in carrying out such responsibilities. The first fundamental issue about employment is that staff welfare is paramount. Unfortunately, ARIC, as big as ARIC is, has defaulted severally in terms of staff welfare. It is already on record, known all over the world, that ARIC is owing staff 7 months' salaries. Taxes are deducted, not remitted, which is also a criminal offense. Pension contributions are not paid at all. The ones that are deducted from staff salaries are not remitted, not to talk of the other contributory side of it, the funding from the employer. And other statutory responsibilities has been breached by management. Severally, we have made attempt to also engage in full-blown industrial democracy in ARIC, so much so that we had a 2-year moratorium within which ARIC pleaded that we should allow them to stabilize before trade unionism is established. At the expiration of these 2 years, we notified them that we should, start social engagement. Several times they invited us for meetings. Several times we have attempted to have meetings with management. Those attempts.
ARIC Air, in the meantime, has announced the resumption of flight operations following a meeting called by the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority to address the airline and its aviation unions. In a statement by its spokesperson, Adebanji Ola, the airline says it's resumed flights between Lagos and Abuja this evening, while full scheduled operations will resume tomorrow. The airline says it has put in place extra flights to various domestic destinations between Wednesday, December 21st and Saturday, December 24th. It has also upgraded aircraft capacity on certain routes to cope with the backlog of passengers whose flights were affected by the union's action. It's straight up to Abuja now. Here's Linda Akibe, who has more on the news at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. A coalition of civil society organizations has urged Nigerians to demand transparency and accountability from the National Assembly as it reviews the 2017 budget proposal presented by the President. The group says lack of accountability in government can erode efforts being made to end the ongoing economic recession. The group accused the National Assembly of not responding to a Freedom of Information request and court order mandating it to provide the details of its budget to all Nigerians.
Over the last 3 years, the National Assembly has refused to respond to Freedom of Information requests and the court order to provide its detailed budget. It is of great concern to Nigerians that members of the National Assembly do not know the content of their own budget, yet they hold court over how the budget of the country is spent. Public auditing of spending by the National Assembly and several reports on allegations of corruption that have been investigated remain shrouded in secrecy. This does nothing for an institution that seeks to be responsive, accessible, representative, and accountable. The National Assembly should publish the breakdown of its 2016 and 2017 budgets. 2, maintain a functional website, provide contact information of its members, activate the switchboard in the National Assembly complex so citizens can engage their representatives and make attendance records public. And thirdly, replace voice voting with electronic voting and making voting records public.
State authorities in Anambra and Delta are worried over the delay in the construction of a second River Niger bridge. The governors of both states are asking the federal government to continue work on the project to ease the pressure on the first Niger bridge. This appeal came when members of the Senate Committee on Works visited both states.
Almost on a daily basis, especially during festive season, people go through traffic spending long hours on a bridge constructed 51 years ago, the River Niger Bridge. The bridge, which connects the southeast and the western region of Nigeria, is the major corridor of trade between the southeast, south-south, southwest and the north-central zones. In order to ease the pressure on the overstretched bridge, the need for a second bridge was conceived. Construction work commenced during the last administration, but the pace of work has since slowed down. Now, the Senate Committee on Works are in Delta State on an oversight function, so they take out time to be with the governor.
We learned that the project has been taking a very slow pace, and the government is very much concerned. Already 18 billion naira was disbursed, and for this year 2016 budget, we are able to put 13 billion naira on it.
It's also an opportunity for Governor Okowa to raise the issue of the havoc articulated trucks cause on the roads.
I think that there is the need to have a policy direction in which some of the very heavy-duty trucks will not be allowed to ply on roads. Because what we've noticed recently is that a lot of the federal roads are being destroyed, and even some state roads are being destroyed by the heavy-duty trucks.
The team also took time out to be with the governor of Anambra State, where they commended him for his developmental strides, and they assured him that some of the bad federal roads within the locality would be attended to. Governor Obiano raises concern on the second Niger bridge.
Nothing happening at the Onitsha end of the second Niger bridge. There's nothing happening there. And in the 2016 budget, I saw a figure of about 11 billion attached to that bridge. I don't know what the problem is.
Now that the visit is done, hope is rekindled that the southeastern region would attract more developmental opportunities in the incoming year.
These are men and women of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners in Imo State. They are on the streets of Owerri in their numbers, carrying placards with several inscriptions. They are protesting the non-payment of pension arrears by the state government. They're also kicking against a document which they claim the government wants them to sign before owed sums are paid. The protesters are calling for all pending arrears to be paid in full without further delay.
The civil pensioners were paid last on January 2015. As at December 2016, civil pensioners are owed 22 months. Local government pensioners are owed 23 months. The top primary school teachers are owed 32 months. IBC pensioners are owed 43 months. Permanent secretaries are owed 22 months. Alpha and Eco retirees are owed 77 months. Since 1998 till now, no retired pensioner in Imo State has received the gratuity.
Government to withdraw that obnoxious letter one and pay our pensions 100%, no cover out of it, and also our gratuity, because we know that this government was given 26.608 billion naira last time to pay arrears of pensions.
When the News at 10 returns, financial experts brainstorm on the Nigerian foreign exchange markets. That's some business news. Join us again.